This is Ish, and today I want to talk to you about different ways to feel grounded. So, typically in our society nowadays, we tend to live and operate from our upper body, especially being very stuck in our heads, from overthinking or breathing very shallowly. And as a result, we feel nervous energy or being very stressed out or anxious. And we've lost that connection to our lower body related to the first chakra, which is stability, and our second chakra related to power. And part of this practice is learning how to root ourselves down with the earth to feel more grounded and calm. So, those are some energies we'll be talking about today. And namely, I'll be providing 3 different techniques to feel more grounded within yourself. So, the first piece of advice is to feel your feet firmly planted against the ground. So, if you're sitting right now in a chair, really feel your feet against the ground. Same goes if you're standing. And you want to energetically push your feet down into the ground. And to go one step further, think of yourself as a tree where you have roots extending out from your feet into the ground beneath you. And feel that there's no separation between the ground beneath you and your feet. So they're all one. And what this does is that when you visualize this scene and actually go through this exercise of pushing your energy down and feeling roots coming out of your feet, this grounds you to the earth and makes you feel more sturdy. So if you think of classic like an oak tree, right? It's an image of a sturdy and immovable subject. It's not going to be blown around by things around you. And this is actually a very fun exercise that you can practice. It's going about your day-to-day life. So if you have a job where you're sitting in front of a computer or you're just standing, you can actually practice this and go about your day. So you can still have a conversation with other people. And while you're doing this, you are bringing your attention inwards and rooting it down towards the earth. And this will take the energy of being stuck in your head and it'll actually direct it more downwards so you feel a nice, strong base. The second way to ground yourself is to breathe lower into your body. So when you breathe very shallowly and just into your chest area, you actually activate the sympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for the fight and flight response and feeling a low level of stress. And if we breathe in this manner long enough, we just get very constrained and just have an overall feeling of anxiousness. So part of yogic practices and just practices in general is to breathe lower, so breathing into the lower belly. And in Eastern traditions like Zen Buddhism especially, in their meditation, they actually emphasize and stress the importance of breathing into your lower belly, which they call the hara or tanden center, which is a source of power. So by breathing into the lower belly, you actually activate and tap into this source of power. And naturally over time, you'll notice that through the constant repetition of breathing deep into your lower belly, you'll naturally settle into a place of stillness and strength. And one thing you will just notice, and this is something you can just observe naturally, is that a lot of Zen practitioners who've been practicing for decades, they seem to embody a sense of stillness. And this is, I believe, from practicing breathing deep into their belly. And this is more so common in Zen meditators who really emphasize this point of breathing lower compared to other traditions where they practice more loving kindness or other practices where their energy is going upwards. In Zen, it's all about rooting and feeling very sturdy and strong. So that's just a personal thing that I've noticed. And one way to practice breathing lower into your belly is to take your palm and just place it an inch below your navel. And throughout your day, just practice breathing into your palm. So you'll feel your belly press against your palm as you inhale. And then as you exhale, you'll still feel the tactile sensation of your palm against your belly as well. So the more you can practice this, the more deeper you'll draw your energy from, and you'll activate the parasympathetic nervous system from deep belly breathing, but you'll also feel a nice sturdy base as well. And the last method of grounding yourself is to focus on objects that represent sturdiness and stillness. So in the Anapanasati, which is an old Buddhist text, they talk about how you can meditate upon different objects, and each object will impart a certain quality into your mental state. So for example, meditating upon a corpse will have a lot different effect on your mental psyche than meditating upon a candle or a colored disc, for example. So by meditating upon a tree or a rock or a mountain, for example, these are all things associated with groundedness, then if we meditated long enough, we'll actually adopt those qualities of the rock or the tree for ourselves. So I personally have a bonsai tree in my house, like an indoor bonsai tree, so I'll meditate upon that. And for you, you could have maybe a rock or a crystal that's very sturdy. And if you meditate upon it long enough, you'll slowly start to take on those qualities for yourself. So practice these 3 grounding exercises, and you'll notice that your attention will start to go downwards and you'll feel more sturdy and strong. And this can either be done, like I mentioned, throughout your day. So if you're just standing or sitting, like reading a book, for example, you can practice the first technique of feeling your feet planted and rooting out. Or you can set aside some time during your meditation where you only for 20 minutes you will be, focusing just on your feet. Breathing, lower into your lower belly, you can do that throughout the day, or you can set up some time in your meditation to just do that. And likewise for the object meditation. So it's really up to you. I would recommend doing a bit of both. So having a time in your meditation practice where you just focus on grounding, and then also incorporating it throughout your day. And if you do it long enough, your nervous system will adapt to it and it'll actually be a new way of being. So how cool is that you can actually take these techniques and incorporate it so well that it actually becomes a part of how you interact and relate with the world. So those are just a couple ways you can ground yourself. And you'll just notice a marked difference in your anxiety levels, your stress levels, and the racing of your mind. So these are all great ways to root yourself back down and feel very sturdy and come from a place of calm. Hope this helps. Thanks.